Uzbekistan is located in Central Asia. Its territory is comprised of 447.4 million square kilometers, and it consists of 12 regions and an autonomous republic. The country declared itself independent in 1991. Uzbekistan is based on a republican state system. The president is the head of the republic. The supreme legislative organ consists of 2 house parliament. Although the state is a newly independent one, it boasts a great history, century-old traditions, and world-known celebrities. Among them are the founder of the medical science Abu Ali ibn Sina, Biruni, who proved the round shape of the earth earlier than Copernicus, Mirza Ulugh, who discovered the space wonders and star systems, as well as a more notorious military leader. It is hardly possible to speak short of those statespeople who contributed to the world civilization to a particular level. And those facts speak for the same Uzbekistan that has always been the center for the science and spirituality. Tashkent is the capital of the country. Nowadays, the city is home for wide-scale efforts of building erections, and all the skyscrapers and wide and clean streets, as well as the gorgeous gardens, add to the beauty of the city. Any person who visited Tashkent a few years ago is certain not to recognize the city. Tashkent has turned into a city of large conferences and business meetings. Also, the city is famous for its cultural sites, opera and ballet theater named after Alisher Navoy, the National Theater, the Youth Theater, to name but a few. World-known masters of art present their new programs in the art complexes mentioned above. Actually, the art of Uzbek boasts a long history. A great attention was paid here both to the classical and variety types of art. And this is not in vain, since Uzbeks are big lovers of musical art. Another developed genre of art in Uzbekistan, the folklore ethnographic type. Every province of the country present their own representative performances and country-wide celebrations like Navruz. Numerous national meals like sumalak and khalim are served for the table. Also, it is worth noting that not only the performance art but also the descriptive type of it widely appreciated in our country. The samples of handmade sculpture like the ones you can find only in here in Uzbekistan. The Rishtan school of practical art is popular even throughout the world, and it is barely possible to find a person who has not heard of our ancient sites like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Khiva. They not in vain call Samarkand the Pearl of the East. Timur was into turning the city into the capital of the whole world in his time back then, and Bukhara is famous as a religious center ever since. Such great state persons as Bahauddin Naqshband, Imam at-Tirmizi lived there, and all those sites have kept their marvel up to the present.
Well, we read a lot of traveling guides, and we read a lot of fairy tales, so we are looking forward to seeing this nice architecture and seeing all the arts and the mosques and the palaces, so that's very nice.
Ja, ich habe hier und da gelesen, natürlich eben wegen der Seidenstraße. Wegen der Seidenstraße, das liest man natürlich sowas, und eigentlich schon seit 20, 30 Jahren immer wieder.
Uzbekistan has rich historical heritage and many open-air museums. In order to develop tourism in Uzbekistan, there are many opportunities being created for visitors. Uzbekistan has not only those historical sites for visitors to observe, but also Uzbekistan is on the way of building more modernized hotels that meet the latest requirements. We take pride in our history. We are on the way to build the future with our own labor, intellectual capabilities, and our own hands. At the present trend of globalization, Uzbekistan is striving to strengthen its friendly ties with almost all states of the world. Besides, Uzbekistan is full-fledged member of a number of worldwide treaties, and it's contributing to the stable operations of peace not only in the region but also in the whole world.
My wishes for the Uzbek people, of course, would be prosperity, happiness and peace for the future.
The wish is economic and democratic progress for these people, because it's a marvelous people, hardworking. They should grow in their material, economic wealth, well-being. They deserve everybody to find a nice job, to gain money, to be sure of a revenue at the end of each month.
The nation is hard-working. The fields basically grow cotton, and the country is the second in the export of cotton. At a time in the past, Uzbekistan used to be the country resource procurement, but now it's exporting ready-made material abroad. Foreign investment is directly attracted to various branches, including light textile industry. In addition to that, Uzbekistan is 28 in rank with other countries that manufacture gold. It is only country to manufacture automobiles, and it is the one of 26 states engaged in car production. We also take the lead in air transportation manufacturing in Central Asia. Uzbekistan values the terms of international equity and tolerance. The representatives of more than 130 nations live in a line with local Uzbeks. Also, the members of the Russian, Tatar, Kazakh, and Tajiks are playing an active role in social and state activities.
O'zbek xalqi O'zbekistonni qanchalik sevsa, men ham shunchalik sevaman. O'zbekiston mening vatanim. Ijro etgan bir qishig'imda O'zbekistonni madh etishga harakat qildim. Asralik yurtimiz, qarog'imizda tinch bo'lsin bu dunyo, zamin-u falak. Bizlarga muqaddas hur vatan kerak.
The representatives of various nations not only speak one and the same language with us, but also have a deep knowledge of our own traditions. How about you? Do you happen to know anything about them? An interesting fact is that every province possesses particular traditions of its own, and that peculiarity can be observed even in clothing.
This dress is mainly worn by girls of Samarkand. Girls for wedding ceremonies. Gilded knitting well spread in Bukhara, as it's clearly reflected on their clothes. Wearing atlas, a material made of silk, has become a custom from ancient periods.
People of Khorasan are very outgoing by nature. They like merrymakings, while our compatriots from the valley are hospitable and kind. In general, the terms of hospitality and well-bredness are really common for all Uzbeks.
Konkret über das Volk eigentlich nicht viel, weil es war ja immer im Zusammenhang mit der Seidenstraße. Und da ging es eigentlich weniger um die Völker als um die Allgemeinheit der Seidenstraße, die ja durch viele verschiedene Völker. Da bin ich begeistert. denn das sind unglaublich nette, freundliche, sehr, sehr nette Leute.
A saying in Uzbek goes which says that guest is dearer than your father. Whenever a guest comes in the door from outside, our people do their best to welcome the guest and serve all they can for the guest meeting table. When Uzbeks hold wedding parties, the observation of merrymaking is very common with the serve of national dishes for comers.
If you happen to travel along Uzbekistan and are invited to Uzbek wedding parties or other merrymakings, you must test Uzbek national meals, especially pilaf. The peculiarity of it is that pilaf is prepared differently in each region.
I like it very much. My favorite is plov. When I come to Uzbekistan, I come here very often. I always come to the Caravan, it's a perfect restaurant, and I always eat Uzbek food, manti, samsa, plov. It's very delicious, really.
Uzbek meals also do have a long history. Cooks know that. An inseparable part of any cuisine, it is species. Uzbek markets or bazaars are always overcrowded with people. Generally, the terms of trade are also bypassed to us by our ancestors. This could be easily observed in Tashkent and Fergana Valley.
As Uzbekistan is situated in the Great Silk Road, the trade and markets have been well developed from ancient times. Presently, Uzbek markets are famous all over the world as well. Different varieties of fruit, including exotic ones, are available here too. For example, this apple is produced in Chile and this banana is from Ecuador.
Also, there is a peculiarity in our markets. If you are into buying something in our markets, you are possible to make that purchase by bargaining with the salesperson, even for a cheaper price. For instance, if you buy a couple of apples for $1, here you can buy a kilogram of it for the same price. It is not about the price actually, but you can hardly find such tasty fruits in any other part of the world. In order to take an advantage of their own fruits, people in Uzbekistan plant trees, and usually they compare trees to children. Generally, Uzbeks are fond of children. They are ready to go to any lengths for the wills of their kids. 60% of all the population of Uzbeks are comprised of youth. In order for them to grow as patriots of their land, and all the opportunities and perspectives are being created for them. A national program for the preparation of cadres was implemented by the government. Educational facilities completely meeting the latest requirements are being erected not only in Tashkent, but also in distant areas like villages of all the provinces of the country. Subsequently, the youth of Uzbekistan are obtaining world reputation thanks to the award-winning places in international subject contests and Olympiads. Sports are the symbol of physical fitness. It is worth taking pride in places taken by the Uzbek sports masters in the world competition arenas. For example, it is impossible to find a person who would not know who Rustam Kasimjanov, the world champion in chess, is.
The concept of the perfect generation does not consist of only intellectual but also the physical well-standing youth. Therefore, the focal attention in our country is directed to the physical well-being of the growing young generation.
The development of children's sports in another sector taking a priority place in national policy making of the country in Uzbekistan. The national contest named Umid Nakhollari, Buds of Hope, is held every 3 years, and in the competitions held in Karshi this year, more than 4 million students took an active part. The Barkamol Award designed for students of academic lyceums and colleges. Universiada destined for the students of higher education institutions are also held on a regular basis. Actually, the upbringing of both physically and mentally healthy generations, the protection of childhood and motherhood take a priority attention in the national policy making. For the effective realization of this goal, modern polyclinics and screening centers are being erected that meet the modern requirements. The focal point in the direction is to enable any child to come to this world healthy, safe, and sound. The future of Uzbekistan belongs to both intellectually and physically healthy generation. It is not hard to imagine the future of Uzbekistan with a short look at these youth. One easily agrees to believe that the land of Uzbek can and will bring great statespeople like Biruni, Navoi, Timur, and Ulugh Beg to the world in the nearest future.
If you are interested in the history, present days, national customs and traditions, you can see and enjoy them all here in our country. Welcome to Uzbekistan.